Peace. In my last video, I had talked about the Illuminati in hip-hop. And so now I would like to talk about who is in control of the so-called Illuminati in hip-hop. But before I go there, if you have not yet seen my Illuminati in hip-hop video, then I suggest that you go check it out, because this is kind of like a continuation from where I left off. Now, before I get into that, I would like to leave a quick disclaimer to let you know that this is just my opinion, and what I'm about to say might go against what some people might believe to be true. So if you don't have an open mind, then you need not bother watching this video. So now, let's get into it. Let me start off by saying that there is a higher power who directs and controls the entire music industry. And if you want to become successful, then you have to be assisted by this higher power, who some say is the chief commander of music. Matter of fact, Bob Dylan had mentioned something about this in a 60 Minutes interview that he had done with Ed Bradley, where he was pretty much exposing how he had to make a bargain in exchange for the success that he has now. Now, I don't know if the chief commander of music is a god from a higher dimension, but according to the internet, some say that it could be the Egyptian god Horus or the Greek god Apollo, as in Showtime at the Apollo, which is where the big name black artists have all gone to pay homage over the years. I don't know anything about that, but I'm just saying. But what I do know is that if you want to become rich and successful on a commercial level, then you have to pay homage and show your allegiance to the powers that be, because there's no way you'll get commercial success without their affiliation. Now, for all those people who say that these artists are selling their souls for fame and riches, I get what you're saying, but then you need to ask yourself, who do you think that the music of this world really belongs to? And when you find that out, then you'd understand why I said that it is the so-called Illuminati that started this whole hip-hop culture to begin with. You need to keep in mind that there was never a movement in music that got started without the permission and assistance from the powers that be. Otherwise, it would have never happened. The fact is that only the people who have been chosen by the so-called Illuminati can create something extraordinary that would move millions of people. So that's why it's so laughable to think that some street kids from the Bronx has started hip-hop. Like I said before in my other video, hip-hop as a culture derived from something that has always been in existence since ancient Egypt. But if we're going to talk about these modern day times, then who is to say that hip-hop didn't originate from an artist like James Brown? That's right. James Brown is more believable than saying some street kids from the Bronx had started hip-hop, because he was considered a gatekeeper for black artists at the time and was definitely chosen by the powers that be to do what he did. By the way, do you think it's a coincidence that Africa Bambaataa and James Brown had made a record together on the album called The Roots of Rap? And also, do you think it's another coincidence that James Brown is the most sampled artist ever in hip-hop history? You see, the truth is hidden in subliminal messages, and as I said before in my other video, only those who have their third eye open can see the light, while the rest of the world remains blind in darkness. So let me break it down for you one more time for all you underground artists who think that you can just blow up out of nowhere. There is something that directs and controls the music industry that you would need to get assistance from if you want to become rich and successful. And the same thing applies to every other industry, as they are all controlled. The medical industry has their chief commander at the top, and so does the political industry. And could this be the reason why they visit the Bohemian Grove? I don't know. And could it be that the god of music has to be appeased with all the rituals, signs, and symbols that these artists use in order for them to get riches and fame from it? I don't know about that either. But what I do know is that an artist cannot become commercially successful in the music industry without the assistance and the permission of the powers that be who control it at the top. It's a fact that every single commercial hip hop artist and famous person in general has to be chosen to influence the masses in ways that an ordinary underground artist does not possess. So like I said before in my last video, if you're an underground artist who is trying to make it to the top and to be seen and heard by millions of people, then you would have to associate yourself with the big name artists in the industry to bring you into their inner circle and do what they do. Otherwise, as an artist, you will never become rich and successful, and that's just the way it is. Anyway, let me know what you think, whether you agree with me or not. And remember that you heard it here first, coming from the mind of a deep thinker. Don't forget to like, comment, and share, as this video is a must watch. Peace. And I'm out.